But when you got a guy that experienced, you're not worried as much about them in the big moment because they find a way to figure it out and get it done when it really, really counts. They're considering Mike Nugent. That's a former Oakland Raider, if I remember correctly. You really, really feeling good about that one? I'm not. And so when you look at that along with the things that we've been lamenting about the New England Patriots offense, because obviously Antonio Brown is no longer there. Josh Gordon, eligibility issue. So far, he's good, but we don't know whether that's going to continue. We pray and hope that will stay that way. Julian Edelman's played, but hasn't been 100%. Gronkowski retired. Tom Brady, age, attrition, etc., even though I have confidence that he'll show up when it really, really counts. It's really about putting all that pressure on about that number one defense, number one in yards, number one in points allowed, number two against the rush, number two against the pass. We get all of that. But in the end, usually with the Patriots, unless they have a juggernaut, it comes down to the wire. And field goals have saved them on many, many occasions. To lose this guy for the season, I think, is a tremendous loss. And when I look at Kansas City, how potent they are and how they're going to be even more so once Tyreek Hill comes back, now that he's back in practice, I'm sorry. I don't see a New England Patriots team with a questionable field goal game beating a Kansas City Chiefs team.
Big kid who got the big contract from the Patriots, tackle from the Patriots last year.
Trent Brown.
Yes.
That's what I thought of when I heard Mike Nugent is probably going to be the kicker. Of course, see, so much of the NFL is not just drafting it and figuring out who's talented, but coaching them up, putting them in an environment to succeed. Mike Nugent was a ballyhooed prospect. He was drafted, I want to say, in the second round, right? By the Jets?
Yes.
Second round. More than Gostkowski, actually, out of college, right? Like, he was a big deal. And he didn't exactly pan out. But it's not like he's been bad. Like, when you hear Mike Nugent, you go, yeah, of course, Belichick has no problem replacing, like, an all-time great like that with a guy who somehow doesn't have a job. By the way, 80% on field goals, it's pretty good. It's not bad at all. That's what Nugent is. Right? If you look at his rates, if he just played a full season last year, he'd have been middle of the pack type of kicker. But, got to be solid in the kicking game, right? Yeah. Guess what? The Pats will be solid in the kicking game, just like that. Trent Brown is one. So people point to Belichick and they look at Josh Gordon types, right? Talented, had problems elsewhere, but still, wow, how did he wind up on the Patriots? But I look at the Trent Browns. He did it again on the offensive line this year, Belichick. He can look at your team, that guy's backing up. So, where other teams, it takes years and years to fix their offensive line. Belichick does it in a day. Well, that guy's pretty good. He's backing up at right guard. We need one. Yeah, I'll trade you a draft pick and get that guy, plug him in just like that. That's what I thought when I heard Mike Nugent. Is it a downgrade? Yes, it is. Could it cost them in a big game because Gostkowski is, like, special? Sure. But if you have Mike Nugent, particularly on the Patriots, I don't see the kicking game as a problem at all.
One quick point before you go. You mentioned 80%, and in fairness to you, I went to my computer and looked it up because I don't pay that much attention to field goal kickers in terms of percentage. When we talk about the greatest field goal kickers in history, Max Kellerman, when they talk about top percentage, you know where somebody makes 80% of their field goals in their career ranks in the NFL? Like at 46. That's not that great.
What I saw from his rates, because
I'm just talking about the number.
Right before this segment began, we hear Mike Nugent.
Right.
So I look up Mike Nugent, and what I saw from his rates was kind of middle-of-the-pack guy if he played a full season. Right. But I'll bet you that ticks up on the Patriots, not down.
I'm not speaking about anybody specific. I'm just talking about generically. 80% rate as a field goal kicker is not that great.
But it's not bad.
That's all
How
I'm
much
saying.
of a difference is this going to make not having Gostkowski?
Listen, it could be potentially big. Stephen A. talked about how he's missed 4, PATs, this year. And so that's been like the one big gripe about Patriots fans is like this dude has been missing a lot of those, kind of chip kicks this year. But at the same time, this is a guy that in his 14-year career with the Patriots, he's also had some big moments with the Patriots. And you can never underscore those type of things when it comes to in pressure situations, where, especially late in the year, weather changes, gets cold. You got to win a game by a field goal. He's done that. Okay?
How do you replace Vinatieri? They did it.
They did it. I will say, I think the bigger issue for the Patriots, if something's going to derail them, the fact that they have a lot of key guys going on IR right now. They have James Devlin, their fullback, Isaiah Wynn, starting tackle, N'Keal Harry,
stay healthy.
their first-round wide receiver, Gostkowski, David Andrews, starting. So, I mean, listen, as much as we talk about Bill Belichick being the greatest head coach ever of all time and having Tom Brady, how many more injuries can you sustain before it starts kind of taking you down to the point where you still have to deal with Kansas City? And like you talked about, Tyreek Hill is coming back. They're going to be even more poised. They won a game without.
They're going to score.
They won a game without Patrick Mahomes throwing a touchdown last week against the Detroit Lions. Think about that. That's rare. That's rare. That's rare for that to have.
Well, let me say this, Max, going back to you. Field goal percentage leaders, career leaders, field goal percentage. Adam Vinatieri, 16th all time, 84%. Number 4 all time, Stephen Gostkowski, 87.3%.
Yeah, it's a
number
real
4
deal.
all
What
time.
I'm saying is it's a downgrade for sure. But where another team would lose their kicker and all hell would break
It'd be
loose.
some no-name, yeah.
The Patriots find just the right guy who you go, oh yeah, like why didn't I think? Like why didn't any team just grab who has a problem there? And in addition to that, he's going to be in a winning environment. Like my prediction is they'll get the best out of him, and they will be solid in the kicking game.
I could tell you where it could play in. Last year, when the Patriots played the Chiefs in Foxborough, okay, where they didn't punt one time.
That's right.
They won the game by what? 3 points.
3 points.
That's the difference, literally, in these type of games.
By the way, that category, NFL field goal percentage career leaders.
Yeah.
All right.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.